Hi everybody, I'm Jim Shore. Today we're at the studio here in South Carolina on the lake. It is an absolutely gorgeous early June day, and I wanted to talk briefly about a subject that I really enjoy being a part of. As you know, with my artwork I have the core line, which is Heartwood Creek, and then I have collaborations with a number of different folks out there. I guess the main one, as you probably know, is my collaboration with Disney. And it's an association that I've had with Disney now for, I guess not quite 20 years, but close to it. And initially I did the iconic pieces, Mickey, Minnie, and all those familiar Disney pieces or Disney characters. But when presented with the prospects of doing the collaboration, I think I was most excited about not just the iconic pieces, but everything else, all of the princesses and the wonderful stories, and the way Disney has and their artists have depicted these stories. It goes all over the board, as you well know. And one of my favorite subjects was doing pieces from the movie Lion King. And I thought that was a marvelous movie. It was beautifully done. I've been to Africa myself many times, and the way it was depicted brought back memories of the landscape and the beautiful sunsets and the wildlife and the wide open territories and all that sort of thing. And to see it done, where they sort of humanize the characters and create this wonderful story that has a lot of meaning to it. Actually, I mean, it's more than just a simply entertaining story. It has morals, and it has danger, and it has humor. It has love and joy and loss, and all the things that that are part of the human experience. And the way they depicted it, was just absolutely beautiful. And the characters are so interesting and well fashioned. So I was very pleased to, when they said, "Well, it's time, Jim, for you to do, the Lion King pieces," I was all ready and fired up to do it. And here's a few of the pieces. I've done many pieces concerning the Lion King, and I bring it up now, I guess, because the live-action movie is going to be out very soon, and so there's going to be a renewed interest in it, and so it's something that we'll do more and more. And the website, when you go to it, you'll see a lot of the pieces that I've done, and that sort of thing. But I want you to just focus on the pieces and the way I've interpreted them, and I think the characters really don't need a lot of embellishment, because they're so well defined and so expressive themselves. Even a piece like this has a certain amount of humor to it, but then it has a certain amount of kind of in-depth introspection to it too. It's just a unique group of characters, from Pumbaa and Simba and all of the characters and the way they interact and their different personalities and everything. It's just like real life, in the human world. So I was delighted. And here's a drawing I did, and typically when I start a project on any one of these pieces, I start out with a fairly detailed drawing of the concept of what I want to go forward with as far as creating the originals and going through the product development stages, so forth, the way we do. This is one I've done most recently, and it's as you can see, Simba and Nala that are showing their love for one another. So this will be a very, I think, kind of poignant piece, and it's actually done and in the works, going through the stages of the product development process and everything we do to go from this to the finished product on the shelf. And at some point, maybe I'll do a little segment and show you exactly what those steps are. It's a pretty interesting process because it's all done by hand. You know, of course, the originals, obviously, but the mold making and the casting and the what we call the fettling, the etching, and all of the painting is all done by hand. We use a high density lacquer on all this stuff, and they paint in exactly the same style that I paint, which is sort of a Americana toll style painting, and so it puts a little bit of a different dimension on the pieces, gives them a homespun, homemade look. I would say Americana, but I guess Americana doesn't quite fit here, but it's that kind of look. So I'm always pleased with it. I'm pleased with the quality and the consistency, and that's what I'm after. But if you like the subject of Lion King, you know, we've got some pieces here, and there's, of course, a lot of stuff available out there in the marketplace. So keep your eyes open for this piece if you like it. And also, these pieces will, with the renewed interest of the movie coming out, will be something that I think you'll want to take a look at. So, you know, browse the website and look at some of our posts and that sort of thing, and you'll see a lot of the pieces that we've done around this subject and others. So until then, I'll talk to you again soon. Until then, you know, be safe, and I love you all. Talk to you again. Bye bye.